ever get angry? You ever have anger? Well, you're human, so probably. Well, what they have out there in terms of what insurance can cover, I am so grateful for. However, when I was handed it and read it, I thought, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So I decided to come up with a formula that actually works. Welcome to Soul Spa University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you sorry, I wrote everything down, but I'd rather be personal with you and not read from it. But basically, I came up with an inside out approach that works amazingly with my clients, as well as myself. And I'm talking, I've had firsthand experience with the beginning works of EMDR so far, and what they're handing out is unreal. So I took that approach so it can actually work for people. I hope people have more resources than I did, but I know that that's what I was given. And even though I'm so grateful because it helped guide me within and to get the actual answers for myself and to help you, I just had to make a video in case anyone out there needs help and they had the same feelings I did. Okay, so just so you guys know, so we're about to delve right in, but just a reminder that I'm actually available for a list of services that are listed in the description box. Also, if you get anything out of this at all today, it would be amazing. I have a donation link in the description box. No little is too little, and it just lets me know some out there is listening. I had to make this video for you prior to the holidays, as I know anger is a very human thing to experience. As much as we love our families or whatever we have left of them in my case, or not, I know that either way, traffic, whatever the case may be, anger is going to come up, and it's very normal. And just so you guys know, I do have, as a thank you to my viewers, a New Year, New You series playlist that is still up for you guys. And it actually has a lot of approaches I came up with a couple years ago that work amazingly as well for anger. This one is new, and I know that it works for me and it works for my clients. If you have an open mind, if you really want to get a handle on things from the inside out, meaning you're not just dealing with the symptoms, you are curing it from the inside out, pretty much a spiritual approach to EMDR. And you don't have to have a religion or believe in anything for this, but it goes real deep and it's going to work out. So I hope that you like to support my content for you. Subscribe to join the Soul Spa family and community, and share to keep my channel afloat. So, all right, we're just going to dive right in. Like I said, I wrote pages on this, and yet, I just want to be more personal with you guys. So as much as the dissertation as I wrote on this, which could probably be published somewhere, I'm going to slip up a lot because I'd rather be way more personal with you regarding this. So, like every other human, I've had a lot of trauma in my early years. And sometimes I wish I had a me to help me out with it. I am so grateful for the friends in my life, anybody I have at all. But I always am searching for a better way to really cure things from the inside out instead of just dealing with the symptoms. And so in one way, because I have had a lot of trauma, I got into EMDR. It's probably amazing for people. I actually haven't got into the EMDR part of it just yet. We're still in the beginnings. However, I'm grateful that this is covered. So that's why I'm so grateful. But the stuff they're handing out, I'm grateful. But holy Lord. Yeah. So basically the solutions so far are touch something cold. Okay. Good luck with that. Yeah, no, it probably does do something scientifically in terms of the neuro pathways. Great. I'm not against any of these things, but I'm going to give you guys additional things today. Okay. It's also eat something sweet. I would love to. I have goals. Okay. I only let myself do that maybe a couple times a week if I manage to achieve those goals, So, uh, you know, so basically, what they handed out in terms of a process, I've expanded tremendously on, and I'm here to share with you what I've come up with. So get cozy, get your favorite hot beverage or cold. This is a timeless video, and you found it when you need to. Okay, so stay till the end because it just keeps getting more and more in depth. Grab a pen and your favorite pen, hopefully a favorite notebook, because you're going to want to pause and jot these steps down. And listen, no one's perfect. We're not striving for it. You're going to get angry. You're not going to use this. It's okay. The whole point is to make it a fun game because the more you practice, the more you can remember, the better you'll be at it. Okay. So the stuff that they hand out is basically what happened, and how could you have reacted? Okay, well, I think we all know, especially us New Yorkers, a lot happens. And there's a lot of other ways we could have handled the traffic guy, right? Okay. Yeah, that works on a surface level. Okay. So you want to go deep? Let's go. I've come up with enhanced this a little bit, and we're going to go a little farther out and a little more deep within, and we're going to cure from the inside out. So here's what I come up with. Here's the formula. Number one, write the facts of the situation. You think this is simple? You really, this is going to have you really check yourself. The facts, not he triggered me, not she triggered me, but the facts. He or she left this on the counter. Not on purpose. It's the facts, the straight up facts. That is step one. Write down the facts. Okay. Number two, what story are you reacting to? We're not saying it's not true. Just trust the process. This is a fun, private thing between you and you. And just the more honest you can be with yourself, the better. So what story are you reacting to? Meaning, no one, if 5 other people are with you and something's left on the counter, they're not going to get as mad about that as you are possibly getting, or whatever the trigger is. There's a reason. There is a reason you're getting this mad. And really be honest with yourself with what you're telling yourself, what you're filling in about it in terms of what are you coloring this picture in? What colors? What meaning are you giving to it? So it could be, so and so left this on the counter. The story is this person never listens to me. I'm reacting to someone not listening to me, and that makes me feel not respected. There's always a story. What is the story you are reacting to? Okay. I'm gonna let you pause for a second. No one's saying you're wrong, okay? And no one is saying you're right. That's not what matters here. What matters is at the end of this, you are going to feel so much better, so much more integrated with yourself, be loving to yourself regarding this, okay? So after you've keyed in on the story, right? Now, I hope I was clear in terms of what the story is. Right. Also, okay, so the next step is what are the predominant feelings predominant that story or stories that you might be reacting to, it could be a few, make you feel. So this person left this on the counter. That's the facts. What I'm really mad about is I feel like they're doing this on purpose, or or I feel like they're not listening to me. So that's a story. Them doing it on purpose, them not listening. What do those things make you feel like? If you feel like they're doing it on purpose, what does that make you feel like? That they're trying to piss you off, right? What does that make you feel like, right? What if they're not listening to you? What does that make you feel like? What emotion is it? Okay. So pause, whatever you need to do, write that down. Either way, write down the process for sure. Okay. Number, I don't know what number one, because I'm really just telling you from myself. So, okay. So the next thing is, when predominantly do you remember in your childhood, as early as you can, or the most predominant memory, that's for sure, that the stories, those story or stories were playing out? And write down when, okay, and write down the situation, what you thought was happening, okay, and that's okay. Maybe it's still true to you. That's okay. We're getting there, okay? We're getting there. Trust me. Next step, those feelings, those predominant feelings you felt with this initial story that just happened. When do you remember feeling those the most in your life or as a child? Okay, write those down. Now we're getting somewhere, okay? Because anger is always about the past. It's the meaning we put on things that has us react to things. And we all have filters that we see things through, a lens, if you will, that is all shaped by our past or what we think is our past. But basically, it's filter after filter after filter. One filter causes another, which causes another, which causes another, right? So, yeah, okay. So basically, look at the situations in which you were younger or in your past where that story played out. And this is the hardest part, but the more honest you can be, the more connected you can be regarding this step, the better the results, okay? A lot of times when we're children, or even not, even when we're older, because filter after filter after filter, because we're born with pure open minds, and then we're taught things, and they are later regarded as paradigms that limit us in terms of what we see things as and how we take things, okay? That's why people have very different reactions to different things. Anyway, there could be something that happened to you as a kid that doesn't look traumatic to anybody, but was actually traumatic for you. It built a story in your head and had you react. So say it took a little longer than normal for your parental figure to hear that you were crying in your crib. You may have felt abandoned, right? And you may not even remember this, but that's a trigger. And even though it's not traumatic, maybe it was traumatic for you for whatever reason, Maybe it's the rest of the way you were taking other things. Who knows, right? But really ask yourself in these scenarios, when Aunt so-and-so or Uncle this one or your parent or your sibling did yada yada, that built that story in your head. Okay, really go within, really reach up, look at it from your higher self's point of view, okay, from a divine perspective, from a lens of love, from the lens of truth. If you could try to connect from before you were taught anything, okay? But know with this higher knowledge, really ask yourself, is it true? Now your egos want to kind of, or is going to want to come in and say, of course it's true. Of course it's, but think with your heart and soul. Is it true? Maybe it's varying degrees of true, but usually things are not at all how we take them. It may look like it may seem like it may be true to us at the time. And because of that, we carry this truth like a snowball through our whole lives, right? But really look around the situation, really look around. And if there were 5 other people standing with you, would they agree? And if it is true, if it's at all true, because there's never 100% truth in anything or not, right? But if there's some part that is, now this is the hardest part for people, but if you can do this, you will be freed. And that is the goal here, okay? You will be freed. What matters in this life is not the outside moving variables that are constantly going to move, okay? Because you could change the players, but the game will always remain the same. So if you want to change the game for your life, if you want a game changer, the more you could do this honestly and truthfully with yourself, the better. So usually if you could find that it's not true, you are freed. And we'll get to that in a second. Don't worry, I got you. Okay, we're not done at all by a long shot. But if at all you still think for some reason this is true, right? Okay, that's still okay. That's still okay. Maybe just because something's true doesn't mean that it means what you think. There are horrible things that happen to people. I know it, right? It's true that my mother died suddenly when I was 11, right? But does it mean how I may have taken it as that at that time that I couldn't help but take it as? Like, does it mean she didn't love me and she abandoned me? Does it mean how I took it, right? There's way more that happened to me. But even I'm just saying, even for people that have worse things. So say your aunt, you think she didn't like you. Well, there's no way you could know that, right? So that probably isn't true. But even if it was to some degree, something where your sister didn't like you in that moment, okay, does she have to? What does that mean for you if that is true? You don't need your sibling to love you every second of every day in order for you to find happiness. You don't need to not have gone through something terrible early in life in order for you to find happiness. So just let the reins off a little, because even if it is true, now here's where the real work comes in. A lot of my clients understand at this point that we create our reality 100%, either consciously or unconsciously. If you don't believe in that, it's okay. You're still with me. I'm still with you. Stay with me. For the sake of your healing, play the game for a second. Only you will know. Just play for a second. See it out. If you live in a reality where it is true that you chose the events in your life prior to this, why would you have chosen it? With an open mind and an open heart, the more honest you can be with this, the more you can find any benefit of it whatsoever, the more free and cured you will be from this process. So trust me, I'm not one that hasn't been through things. I lost both parents prior to age 11 and got shuffled around. And there was so much more layers to this, right? So I'm not one that lived some sort of Pollyanna life, and it wasn't just fine after that. Trust me. It's the meaning we put on things, though. From doing exercises like this that I had to connect with and ask the angels about, it's okay if you don't believe in it, you're still with me. We could have different beliefs and still get a lot of benefit from each other. But from the knowledge I've gotten, higher self, whatever works for you. I've seen the difference that I am in this life for you guys because of what I've been through in the past, because of me having to dig myself up from the ground up when nobody else was around to care or do it. I've come up with these things so that I can be of service to you. I'm a very different person than I would have been in a different reality where my mom didn't pass. You know, I may have a whole new set of possible issues that has me explore these things, which again has me help you. But I'm also have a wide range of emotion and very passionate and very truthful and very wide range of humor and the very colorful, you know, human being existence that emerged from the wreckage. So I see the differences, and it doesn't matter because it's not about me, it's about you. There are benefits to what you went through. Interestingly enough, so many people, I have not met one yet that hasn't. If asked, would they go back and change the hardest thing they went through? They always say no because of the benefits that it gave them. So we always choose things for a reason. And know that nothing's ever eternal and nothing is ever permanent. You can heal like this. We will all be together at the end so quickly. And we won't be playing these limited roles that most are playing at this point. We'll be having the after party from, you know, the stage that we set, you know. So it will be beyond great. It'll be beyond great, but know that you are still here for a reason. You signed up to be here. We all did during this very interesting time. And you are very important. Even if you never left the house for months or years, collectively, you matter so much. And you're gathering information that you're sending above. And for your soul, everything you go through is not without huge recognition and huge points that are eternal gems for your soul. That it might feel horrible and feel like forever here, but that's the meaning we're putting on things. And you could change at any point and any time. And remember, you don't have to be what you think everybody else wants you to be. Feel what feels good to you and go in that direction. Okay, back to this. Now do the same thing with the feelings. The feelings that you predominantly felt from the story. When do you remember feeling those very early on in childhood? Or, you know, when you remember feeling them the most. And then you start to realize, to reverse engineer it, oh, you felt those feelings from a story. Is it true? And even if it is, okay, know that you need nothing outside of yourself for happiness at all. Everything is a learning experience that gives you eternal gems. And the more you do work, inner work, I hate to even call it work, it's so rewarding, it's not. The more you free yourself with going within and connecting and, you know, anything you need, the more you realize none of that matters. These are temporary roles people played. Nothing happens to you, it happens for you. So the icing on all of this, okay? Now this is a formula that when you do it, now you don't have to do it during, I know it could be unrealistic to feel that way, but the sooner you can, the better, because it is gonna rewire pathways in your brain and you will start to let go of things, okay? Also, be very loving with yourself about this. It's very normal you felt that way. Like, this is not an invalidating exercise. Of course you feel that way. Many people do. But the wiser you will be if you rise above it and see it from a bird's eye view, from a higher self point of view. Invite your higher self in to help out. Now, from your higher self's point of view or your future self's point of view, right? How would the person that you want to be, who you truly are prior to these filters, your higher self, your future self, connect with the energy of how they would view the current the thing that was left on the counter? And if you can't do that yet, how do you want to view it? And feel how it feels for that. Because the more you do this process, the more you will connect to that energy. And the more you connect to that energy, the more it will be automatic after a while, and you will be freed of anger. Remember, the number one thing about anger is nobody tells you this. They might write novels about it, but nobody wants to sum it up in one sentence. And it's this: on some level, you're taking things very personally. And I'm not blaming you. I am not. Some would call me a victim from very crazy things growing up, right? But is it going to serve me in my life, in my everyday emotions, in my energy, okay, to feel that way? Because as my clients already know, your energy that you carry literally creates your entire world around you. The energy you carry creates your entire life. You are a magnet to the energy you are. So you could hold that person as the person to blame for the rest of your life if you want. But then remember, we are only given a certain amount of days here. And at the end of it, when you rise up to home where we're all going, you'll realize that person wasn't really that role. I wasn't really that role. Nobody was really that role. And I wasted my days imprisoning myself with that anger. It's not helping the other person that you're that angry. And it's not doing whatever you think it's doing. It's only hurting yourself. So I'm only telling you this stuff to free you, because you're who matters in this. You are. Your life matters, not the person that has no idea the amount you're affected by it and had no real intention of doing that to you. It's just a sidebar to what was happening in their lives at the time. Because at the end of the day, we're all doing the best we can. It's so easy for us to go back and judge and say, I would have chosen different. But the truth is, if you lived their exact lives, you wouldn't. So at the end of the day, we are all one. We were all born pure. Nobody's evil. And things, you will do the most magical things in life, feel the best in life you could ever feel, the more you try to practice realizing that to take nothing personally. The most personal anything ever is the way you're taking it. And that's not a service to you. And trust me, I don't want to seem like I'm invalidating you. I'm not invalidating you. I know what you feel feels really real. I've been there. There's been real things happen in the world. I'm aware of that. Okay, please don't come for me. This is just here because I know that if you delve in, this will free you and help you, and you will feel better and better each time you use it. I know it's worked for me. It's worked for my clients, and it's far better than what they're handing out. So with that, I really hope this is of service to you in any way, shape, or form. Just a reminder, there's a donation link in the description box. It'd be great to know that someone somewhere is listening. Also, please join the family by subscribing so you can catch the next tips and news that they're not telling you or handing out to you. And share would help keep my channel afloat, as well as really help somebody else, especially if you want to tell them this information, but you don't want to be attacked, because I'm taking a huge risk. I'm risking you hating me by delivering this information, because to me, your happiness is way more important than however my ego might be hurt because I tried to help people and it went the other way, because I know to me, it's worth the risk of them feeling better rather than they might be pissed. But if they ever try this, they'll be freed. And that's what matters to me more. And like to support my risky content to you. Yeah, I'm actually currently available for one-on-one sessions still. I'm also a death doula. If someone's passing over, I help them find their way. I hate the title. Also, if anyone's lost someone to the other side recently, I am here for you for that. I also help people to become their own mediums and realize everything's actually a new beginning at all times. So it's a brand new, amazing world in terms of like you think you lost somebody, but you didn't. You actually gained an angel that's with you all the time, every day, that I will help you to realize they are communicating with you. And there's just a whole magical world out there. Donald Hoffman just won the Nobel Prize for realizing, well, quantum physicists have been doing this for years and years, realizing that time and space are not fundamental to the fabric of our reality. However, scientists have just caught up. So Nobel Prize won by Donald Hoffman for realizing that. And he is amazing. He also is the neuroscientist that said, we don't see 99.9% of our reality. So if I could help people see just a little more, that's what I want to do. Okay. I love you all. I have to run. My roommate's about to wake up and I want to make you guys another video before he does. So I love you all so very, very much. I hope this helped. And, keep it together for the holidays. Do check out my holiday help playlist that also covers other ways to deal with things. Okay, I love you all so much, so, so much. I hope all of this has been a help to you. And no matter what, you're never alone. And have a happy holiday the most you can. And I wish you all the absolute best. And you can create anything at any point. It's never too late. I love you. Catch you next time.